Thank you for staying here. We are almost at the end of this conference. Now we leave the floor to Ana Costa from Portugal, who will act as a rapporteur with a 15 minutes slot.
So, 2 days ago, Gerard, who is capturing us through his lens, asked me what a rapporteur was. And my answer was, without thinking much, that it was the person who would explain everything in 15 minutes, so in a nutshell. And just like a filmmaker's lens, my lens reflects my own subjectivity, so the limits of my subjectivity. Now we are almost back home. I am certain that the spirit of these 3 days at ARLE IFTE 2026 community will stay with us and continue to shape or to transform, I don't know where Bernard is, to transform the L1 research back home. Over these days, we have built a truly, I believe, unbounded space of dialogue, a space for questioning, self-questioning. I was self-questioning this afternoon in today's sessions, and changing ideas and learning together. I will not summarize everything, but rather try to capture the essence of what we have collectively constructed. So I will propose 7 key ideas that, in my view, reflect the spirit of these days. And key idea 1 refers at ARLE IFTE 2026, so I will call this the Barcelona community or the 2026 conference. And this conference brought together, accounting authors and co-authors, not only persons that are here present, but it brought together the work of 594 authors and co-authors representing 260 universities and different institutions. Participants come from 48 countries across the 5 continents, and this points both a strength and a challenge. While this community keeps expanding globally, there is still a need to further support participation from less represented and less resourced regions, and many colleagues refer to this issue in these days. Another important dimension, and in today's session again we had this idea with us, is our multilingual identity, and while English stands out not only as an L1 but also as a lingua franca, in the 2026 conference, languages such as Spanish, French, and Catalan occupy visible positions in this word cloud. And what is particularly striking in this is the presence of a wider constellation of languages, and my source was the Book of Abstracts, such as Euskera, the Basque language in Spain, Maltese, Buryat, Guarani, or Korean, or other. Although many languages appear with less visual voice in the cloud, they signal an important research directions and emerging concerns within this community. Now, numbers. And this is key idea 3, our social and academic interaction. Well, I hope this is not again a Vygotskian cliché, but in numbers, the program included 439 contributions, including 365 on-site presentations and 74 online presentations. So we had 7 keynotes and 8 dialogues, almost 200 paper sessions, papers in paper sessions, more than 100 papers in symposia. In the first day we had PhD presentations, we had posters, workshops, roundtables, and we had medieval poetry and music, paella, a nice dinner, so thank you also for the social events. Altogether, and still in Vygotskian terms, the program generated a rich environment for social learning inside and outside the rooms and intensive academic interaction. Well, key idea 4 goes for themes and questions. While preparing the abstracts, participants were asked to consider 15 themes and 7 questions. And considering the ranking of themes, there is a strong concentration of contributions in the 4 leading themes. So theme 5, languages, literacies and technologies. Theme 9, teacher education and professional development. Theme 6, literacy theories and language, literature and literacy education. And theme 4, teaching and learning practices in and beyond school. So these 4 themes together account for around, for more than 60% of all the contributions, and the last themes, along with all the remaining ones, each account for less than 6%. Regarding the questions, 4 questions clearly dominate the conference landscape, and this was a content analysis of, again, the book of abstracts, and the top questions were question 1, the one on new languages, voices and technologies. Question 3, on equity, diversity and sustainability. Question 5 on critical and inclusive pedagogies, and question 4, the transformation of the restrictive practices. Sorry. Sorry. We'll go there. So, analyzing now the keywords, the author keywords, after normalizing it for orthographic and language reasons, I got some keyword clusters, and the top 7 keyword clusters are IA, the generative IA cluster, and the second one is literacy, including digital literacy. The third cluster is technology, including digital tools, platforms, applications, so instruments, followed by the cluster teacher education and professional development, and the cluster 5 is writing and writing instruction. For the cluster 6, we have multimodality and multimodal literacy, and again digital learning, and finally cluster 4 includes assessment, evaluation tied with critical literacy and critical approaches. And this is not a linear thing. Many keywords co-occur, for instance, of course, IA and writing, IA and teacher education, indicating strong thematic integration rather than fragmentation. But of course, the IA digital technology supercluster is overwhelming dominant, clearly confirming trends that we saw already in our previous slides. The keyword analysis shows a clear dominance of IA digital technology cluster, followed by literacy and teacher education. And this may confirm a strong convergence between technological innovation, pedagogical transformation, and literacy practices. And my key idea 6 goes to the celebration of Vygotsky. And I think it was a very challenging and lead us to revise and reread Vygotsky and rethink Vygotsky in L1 research. So to illustrate this point, and now I will be completely subjective because this is not only from the book of abstracts, but also from my work field these days, the places where I choose to be or I could be. I will underline the presence in this 2026 conference of leading international scholars working on Vygotsky ideas, as well as many teachers and researchers from Vygotskian world. To begin with, Professor Peter Smagorinski celebrated Vygotsky in the opening conference with games, schooling and human development, a Vygotskian perspective, and he also presented the paper in the paper session, The Culture of Vygotsky, in an IFTE symposium. And we have just finished now with a somehow historical dialogue between Smagorinski and Schnolli, and also Andy Goodwyn, who was moderating the session, entitled The Unbounded Journey, a dialogue on Vygotsky, and we all know that we need to go on dialoguing and getting the new challenges on this topic. Also, in sessions in French language, for instance, with Professor Bernard Schnolli, we celebrated Vygotsky in a dialogue on classroom discourse and dialogue sur le discours en classe with António Coutinho. And we had a symposium and a volley also from a Vygotskian landscape and from a socio-cultural perspective. But almost in all the sessions I attended in, so this is maybe a problem of my bubble, speakers engaged with socio-cultural perspectives, and there are around 135 explicit references to Vygotsky. And if we also consider a conceptual Vygotskian vocabulary without scaffolding, we count 450 references celebrating Vygotsky ideas in L1 research. And this takes me to a final idea, an idea of an agenda for L1 research within this community, and outside, getting this challenging of communicating outside the academic community to other types of community, and first of all to the teachers with whom we work. I thought about some ideas built on the key ideas for the L1 research agenda. And first of all, I would propose strengthen the integration of IA digital literacies and critical pedagogies with attention to ethical and epistemological implications of this, to deepen the connections between teacher education, classroom practices, and technological innovation, to expand research on multilingualism and linguistic diversity, but also within language varieties that must not be silent. There are there are many questions about language varieties within our classrooms, and particularly with underrepresented contexts and communities. Also, to develop inclusive and socially just approaches, linking literacy, sustainability, and cultural diversity, and further mobilize socio-cultural and Vygotskian perspectives in digitally mediated environments and IA-rich contexts with focus on mediation, interaction, and collaborative meaning-making. Well, this agenda does not close the academic dialogue. Rather, it leaves open pages to be written through new crossing of themes, perspectives, and voices. So, thank you to the organizers. It was great to be at the ARLE IFTE 2026 conference, and thank you everyone. This was a collaborative discourse building during these 3 days, and enjoy your last minutes in Barcelona.
Thank you, Anna. Hi, everyone. This being me, I'm not going to do a formal thing. It's going to be a bit more personal and relevant in a peculiar way. Because one of the things I discovered, it's quite remarkable, when I was preparing my closing remarks, is that I realized that this chap, Shakespeare, remember him? Shakespeare, has written a play about an academic conference. Not only has he written a play about an academic conference, he writes about a professor who provides his last PowerPoint. So what is this play? It's called The Tempest. I knew immediately it was about a university, because a tempest is a storm, is a hurricane. It's also set on an island, and the universities are serious islands. And the main character is an old professor of L1 education called Prospero. And Shakespeare uses the metaphor of knowledge as magic. And Prospero controls all the magic, all the knowledge on the island. And because it's his last conference, and he knows it's his last conference, he invites all these people. Some he likes, some he cares about, some he really hates. That's life. He brings them all to the island at the same time to exact his revenge upon them, or to make them happy. And that's quite a complex story. Like an academic conference, there's some happiness, there's some unhappiness. But what's really remarkable, given it was written 450 years ago, is it really all comes down to one final PowerPoint. Two of the main characters are very interesting. One is called Caliban. And Caliban is a monster, and he represents neoliberal management in a university. The other character who's important is called Ariel. And Ariel is a fairy, a free spirit who represents intellectual freedom and joy. And that still happens in universities. So you've got these two competing, the dark and the light and all that stuff. And the isle is full of noises. I mean, that's a phrase, isn't it? We're a lot of noises, if you ask me, too. So what does he say when it's his final PowerPoint? Well, the first thing is he calls it a vision, which I think is a bit, not really, I don't think many of us called our PowerPoints visions, but this is Shakespeare, okay? So let's say that he's elaborating a little bit on what it is. So in this final moment, he's had all these people, they've had the conference is all over. It's like me and Xavier now, this final moment. And he's thinking about what to say about this final moment. And so he says, first he references the PowerPoint. And then he references the conference. He says, and like the baseless fabric of this vision, and then he references the campus, the cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself Yea, all which it inherit shall dissolve. And like this insubstantial pageant, faded, leave not a rack behind. But then, he says, but we are such stuff as dreams are made on. And then he says, and this little life is rounded with a sleep, reminding us this is the end. And now we shift to another great literary figure, Henry James. And Henry James, the English-American novelist, said, here it is, the distinguished thing, the end. He was talking about death, but here we are, it's a distinguished thing, the end. On a more serious note, I would like to once more mention Jackie Manuel and Cal Durrant, who I have dedicated this conference to, and FD members that have done the same, who sadly passed away very recently, who would have been here and would have made their presence felt. And I hope there's a future in the way that we are making our dreams, and I hope IFTE and ARLE will collaborate again in the future. We have no exact plans yet, but I think that may well happen. I am going to personally now quickly thank Xavier, Pau, Dolores and Mark. There are too many others to thank, but they have made my life very happy here in the time we've had in the conference. And a special thanks to IFTE participants who've come, often invited by me. There are far too many for me to mention them all, but I really appreciate you've come from all around the world to be here. And now I'm going to test your memories. Are you ready? It's the Vygotsky rag. Who's the one? It mustn't be Vygotsky. Who's our hero? It's Vygotsky. That wasn't very good, but I'm used to that. Now then. Obviously, people have been saying to me, when are we going to get the whole Vygotsky rap, Andy? Come on, when are we going to get the whole performance? I think they're not recognizing this is a 21st century masterpiece I'm working on. It's not some light thing. So this being an unbounded journey, it's not finished. So what happens next? Well, if you think about the greatest art form of the 20th century, and poor old Vygotsky, who was a kind of intellectual rock star, rather tragically died like rock stars do, far too young. He wasn't the famous 27 like Jimi Hendrix or Janis Joplin, but he was damn close to it. I think he'd have liked rock and roll, not that there was much of it in the Soviet Union. But if you're in the rock and roll business, and I was, then you know there's a simple thing, and this is where the Vygotsky rap comes in. If you're in the room, it's live, it's really happening. You play the final song, the audience stands up, they're delighted. You leave them wanting more. So, you fans of this great masterpiece, the Vygotsky rap, should we meet at any time again on our unbounded journey, you can say, Andy, the Vygotsky rap, is it finished? You might be the first one to hear the final version of the Vygotsky rap. What a prospect. You come to this conference, you go away with a real gift. And finally, what did Shakespeare say? In Julius Caesar, he said very simply, if we should meet again, why then we'll smile. And if not, this parting was well made. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. So now we have still some final things to sort out. One is the full professor position contest, of course. As you know, we want to award the more sharpest brain in the conference with a kit for an academic successful life. And what we have seen, the jury appreciated the boldness and thought-provoking nature of your responses. And the winners are Marketa Pokorova, University of West Bohemia, I don't know if she's here, and Jesús Ribosa, Universitat Autònoma de Barcelona. She is here. So, now, you go for it, eh?
Yeah, of course.
So, yes, Marketa, thank you so much. This is your kit. Jesús, thank you so much. Now, hold on, we have to proceed.
Yes.
Yeah? So now there are. We have to do the whole thing, because this is maybe the most serious thing in the conference. Okay. Yeah.
It's my first academic award.
Right, so that ready? Yeah. Here goes. Hold on a second. Pues I'm looking. Tom, Andy. Yes.
We take the book, right?
Yes. The book here. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes.
Now, we can proceed. Now we want to express our acknowledgement to Deborah Myhill, who has been in charge of the L1 journal. She cannot be here because she is taking the flight now. But here we have our colleague, Jimmy Van Rek, the current L1 editor, who will read very short text about Debbie.
Thank you, Xavier. So I was asked not too many minutes ago to do something of a speech for Deborah when I found out she wasn't here, so I'm going to do it in third person. I'm very happy, though, that I have the opportunity to give credit to her. Many of you will know her. As you may know, she's been the editor-in-chief of our flagship journal, L1, Educational Studies in Language and Literature. And she took upon herself that role well into her retirement. She served as the first formal editor-in-chief for L1 for 3 years. And it's really no wonder that she was approached for the role. She has not only an impressive academic track record, as many of you will know, but she's also got the diplomatic and interpersonal skills needed to navigate the complexities of journal editing. And they are sometimes needed. She brought with her extensive experience in editing other journals, including research papers in education. And we could really tell the editors of L1, the associate editors, that she brought along this experience, because what she brought to the journal was an incredible level of professionalization. Not only in meetings with the editors, but also she really elevated the procedures that we used, sharpened the quality of peer review, and really helped to elevate the journal to higher academic standards. So on behalf of everybody at ARLE, and also on behalf of the editors, former and current, we wish her the best of luck in any ongoing projects, because she's taken on another role as editor for a journal, the new journal Learning in Context, so she's still going strong. And a very big thank you from all of us for the excellent work that she has been doing for L1. So,
Thank you, Jimmy. Now, of course, we want to acknowledge our volunteers. There are not all of them are in here, but a small amount of them. Please, you can. Thank you so much. You have done a tremendous job. Thank you. Without your strength, and you have been really passionate sometimes trying to work it out, everything. So thank you so much. We appreciate very much. Especially, a consideration for Mark, who was in charge of all the group, and he was doing also a tremendous job. Now, so last very quick consideration. We considered, Andy, me, Dolores, Pau, the rest of the people, that the ARLE IFTE collaboration in Barcelona 2026 has been really successful in terms of having had very good connection. On the website, we will upload what we call the first term report, the report of what was going on since January the 1st, 2025 until July 31st. Then there's another report from August to 31 December the 31st. And then, of course, finally, the program, the book of abstracts that we internally used to call the 16th Chapel. It was just internal nomenclature. And then, of course, on the website, you will have the publication possibilities. And very important, I haven't written it down, but the access to the survey for the key thinkers, that will be an ongoing process. And last but not least, the online participation has been very successful. People online have enjoyed the sessions on streaming. The sessions that were not on streaming have been recorded by our colleagues, the technicians, Raúl, Che, Héctor from the Autonomous University, and they will be uploaded on the website. And we will extend the possibility to access the videos, the PowerPoints on video on the website, so that you can leave comments for 1 more week. And yeah, and now, very important, Gerard, how do we do this? There is a conference short film that we really hope that you will like, but at the moment I don't know how to access it. So. Thank you, Gerard. You have done a tremendous job. And the next ARLE Conference will be in Olomouc, the Czech Republic, 2028. And
a wonderful day in a university city, isn't it? Olomouc, a borough jewel in the heart of Europe where all journeys begin. And behold, here they come, students gathering from all over the world with the same goal, to achieve their dreams. Here we can see a student arriving in Olomouc, eagerly joining their peers, filled with anticipation. At Polski University, every student flourishes thanks to an environment brimming with endless possibilities. The university offers a vast array of fields of study and employment, enabling students to thrive and become successful. At the same time, they engage in a number of activities while fostering timeless memories and lifelong friendships. Whether residing in dormitories or historical buildings tailored to students' preferences, the city offers everything one could desire. Only a fraction of students display the inclination to leave, given the remarkably strong attachment they hold towards this vocation. Its exceptional harmony, coupled with memories and endless possibilities, draws students back time and time again. Come to Polski University in Olomouc, where your dreams become reality. Olomouc, cradle of education. Choose your future.
Thank you so much. The conference is over.